Good morning to everyone. I'm Dr. Sumi MS. The topic of my today's presentation is State Table from Unit 4 State Machine Design of Digital Logic Circuits and Design. On completion, the students will be able to describe the representation of state table for a sequential circuit and also describe the key components of a state table. A state table is a tabular representation of a sequential circuit's behavior which details the present state, the input as well as the resulting next state and the outputs, essentially converting a state diagram into a precise list for implementation, thereby showing how a circuit moves from one state to another based on the applied inputs as well as the clock pulses, using zeros and ones for on-off states. Key components of a state table includes present state, inputs, next state and output. So the current condition of the flip-flop or the memory element is represented as the present state. External signal that affects the circuit's transition is the input. The state of the flip-flops will transit to the next state after applying the next clock pulse. The value of the circuit produced during this transition is the output. And memory, this describes a system that remembers the past events unlike combinational circuits, and here we represent it in a tabular form. It organizes the pictorial state diagram in the form of rows and columns. Therefore, we can get a systematic view of the state diagram as a table. And the state table specifies the exact requirements for the next state logic and output logic and is crucial for designing the actual hardwares which we require. That is, we can determine the number of hardware requirements, that is the number of flip-flops and gates needed with the help of the state table. So this is an example structure for a simple circuit with the present state, input, next state and output for a state table. The main purpose of the state table is that it helps to design specification, acts as a blueprint for building sequential circuits like counters and registers. And also, with the help of a state table, we can bring state reduction in the state diagram. It helps to identify and eliminate redundant or equivalent states so that the circuit can be simplified, thereby reducing its cost and complexity. A state diagram or state machine diagram is a crucial visual tool showing a sequential circuit's behavior. The states, which are in form of circles, represent memory conditions, and the directed arrows, which are the edges, show the transition between the states that are triggered by the inputs, detailing the next state as well as the output which is obtained, making it ideal for designing counters, control units and protocol systems. Quiz questions on state table. What are the key components of a state table? What do you mean by a state diagram? Thank you.